recognize when we think about leadership in Singapore is that we operate as a team in cabinet, not as a group of individuals. It may sound commonplace, but it isn't commonplace. Actually, it's a very distinctive political culture that we have in cabinet, and you have to look around the world to realize how distinctive it is. No one is in this for himself or herself. No one is out to outdo someone else in cabinet or still to undermine someone else in cabinet because he or she could be a competitor to them. Everyone is in this as a member of the team. And it's a culture that we've built up over time that we absolutely must keep for the future. This team culture in cabinet. I see it in the fourth generation of leaders. Some of them came in the 2011 elections, some came in last year, but they work very closely together. I've seen how they work together, and I've seen them building up trust with each other. They have this team culture. So whoever's the next Prime Minister would be part of this team culture. He or she would be first amongst equals in a team. That's the first point I want to make. We've got to recognize that we have a different culture in Singapore. It's a team culture, and whoever's the Prime Minister will be first amongst equals. And that certainly applies to the fourth generation. The second point I'll make is that when we talk about succession in Singapore, we're not talking about an immediate problem that we have. We don't have an immediate problem. We're not talking about succession within this term of government. We are lucky. The Prime Minister is healthy, even after that small scare recently. The doctors have given him a clean bill of health. He's still on top of the challenges that Singapore faces, everything from defense to economic policy to social policy. And he's extremely highly regarded, not just domestically, but internationally. They don't get invited to the G20 summit year after year if the leaders of the major nations don't want our Prime Minister at the table. So he's extremely highly regarded, he's in top form, and it's not an urgency in this term of government to see succession. And that's why we're focused on the fourth generation of leaders, building them up and enabling them to take over during the next term of government. And one amongst them will emerge as first amongst equals. Just to be absolutely clear, because I know of this talk that's going around, I'm not the man for PM. I say that categorically. It's not me. I know myself, I know what I can do, and it's not me. I'm good at policy making, I'm good at advising my younger colleagues, and at supporting the Prime Minister, not at being the Prime Minister. That's not my ambition, and it's not me. Just think back to our early years, when we had people like Dr. Goh Keng Swee and Mr. Rajaratnam. Their contributions to Singapore were immense. Until today, they are in a league of their own. Till today, no one can compare with them. But even they would not have been ideal as a Prime Minister. Dr. Goh, remarkable person. Singapore would be much poorer and much less secure if not for him. He debated with Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, disagreed with him on some things, but he did not have the temperament to be a Prime Minister and did not want to. Mr. Rajaratnam, a man of ideas, passionate about what he believed in, and an extremely good foreign minister. But he wasn't cut out to be Prime Minister, and he knew it, and no one regards him the lesser because he wasn't Prime Minister. So I give them as illustration. I myself and no one in future is going to come close to their contributions to Singapore. They're in a league of their own. But even they would not have been ideal as Prime Ministers. We each find a way to contribute to Singapore that matches our strengths, and we each contribute to a strong team. That's the way we operate in Singapore. Each contribute to a strong team, do what we can in a way that matches our strengths. one amongst the fourth generation is, I'm confident, capable of emerging as the first amongst them.